Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be doing another deck profile here for a very interesting particular build here. This is a combined Aquos, Duress and Ventus of Bakugan here, and I've also incorporated some very interesting aspects to it as well, being that we're actually able to utilize a really good type of Bakugan as well. So with that being said, let's just reveal these Bakugan and see what we actually have. So the first one I think would be my main one is a Webem Ultra. Darkest Webem is just a really nice balanced type of stat line here, 3 and 400. So you know, it's obviously not above average, it's not under average, I think it's definitely a decent number. However, what we really get as a bonus for playing this particular version, or this particular Bakugan, is that we actually get a double Helix. And to be able to have a double Helix means to have a powerful Bakugan. I think double Helixes offer the greatest range and one of the best effects you could possibly get for Bakugans alongside Magic Shield. So with that being said, Webem Ultra is definitely really great, and given it's an Ultra Bakugan as well, you certainly get the advantage when it comes to rolling. The second Bakugan I'm playing here is Dragonoid Ventus, of course, just the core version. However, this one, 200 B power and 4 damage, doesn't seem like much. However, it offers a double helix, 2 double helix that is. So because of that, we already have 3 double helixes in our entire Bakugan set. So if he rolls onto a double helix Bakugan, he gets an additional 400 B power, putting him at 604. And the likelihood of that happening is, well, it's very high. It's close to about 80%. So because of that, you always consider him a 604 Bakugan, which is well above the average, and definitely is a really good standard right there. And yeah, overall, it just makes the double helix well utilized in this particular build. The final Bakugan we're playing is Hydra. Aquos Hydra, a core one. This is also 200 B power, but it offers 6 damage, so it definitely makes up for the damage with the lack of B power. But even then, the lack of B power is no big deal because we are playing double helixes, which definitely offers the best amount of B power for your Bakugan, which is definitely quite nice here. And it also offers regular shields as well. So overall, we have 2 regular shields, and we have 4 double helixes, which I think is definitely really amazing considering how powerful they are. So the 2 that we have here is the plus 400 for Aquos and Duress. So obviously these 2 will be focusing on the Webem and Hydra. The reason why I didn't care for Dragonoid in terms of these regular shield ones is because Dragonoid, majority of the time, if I'm rolling it, I'm aiming to go into one of these double helixes. As a result, it doesn't matter for these particular 2 whether or not it affects Ventus, because as long as it lands in one of these, it's going to have a big benefit. So with that being said, we're playing all of these here. And I'm sure this will definitely give you guys a good idea of what we have. So we basically get plus 600 and minus 3 damage. Putting that back down to 1, however, this puts at 600 in total, plus an additional 600, that's 1200. So with our support cards, we'll be giving additional damage power, and as a result, we definitely will be winning that round based on B power alone, and the damage we simply use action cards to supplement it. And because we have Webem Ultra, which is the darkest, we are allowed to use darkest attributes cards, and with the darkest action cards, we could increase the damage dealt to our opponent. Then I also have plus 500 minus 1. I think this one's a little better than this one, because for the sacrifice of 100 B power, you do get to save up 2 particular damage. So these ones As an overall, these work particularly best with the Hydra because it increases it a bit more, and decreases it even then it would be a very fair amount. So I think this is a really good set of Bakucores that we actually have, very powerful, and will definitely benefit us a lot. You might be thinking, what if the opponent actually rolls onto this? It's not too big of a deal. I think if the opponent rolls onto these particular ones, the action cards give you enough support to deal with that particular problem. So let's take a look at all of our Bakugan. We obviously have our regular Hydra core. Looks very nice there. We also have our Weapon, which I just think is really awesome. Love this Bakugan. But essentially a spider here, so for all of you guys who have arachnophobia, can I actually open this up? No, I can't. But yeah, still really awesome the way it is. And then of course we have our Dragonoid, which is also a really nice design as well. So quite nice there. So now let's move everything aside and let's get on with the deck profile itself. So we're playing Triple Blast Cannon, negates an action card, very good. Just playing one for now. I could bump it up, but for now I think it's just that extra card I had. We're also playing Great Water Boost, Greater Water Boost that is, plus 100, so not as much, and it's all 0, but because it's such a low cost card, or a no cost card, it essentially allows you to combo well with Flow and also a few other cards as well. Additionally, we also are playing Ice Wall plus 900 B power, ensuring that we win the battle majority of the time. This particularly will help out Hydra the most, but even so, helping out these two will definitely guarantee you the win in the particular battle. Next, we're playing one Wave Slash. Wave Slash is 300 B power, and of course with the flow it gives 1000 instead, so definitely really good there. We're playing 2 copies of Tides. Tides is also a very cheap card at 1, and if you have flow it gives 400 instead of 200, so obviously you could see there's definitely a benefit there. But yeah, that being said, we have Inspire. Just 2 copies, but allows us to draw a card, very cheap to assist with flow, and as you can see so far these cards have been increasing in terms of B power, not in terms of damage, so we'll get to them later, but for now the main focus is with at least the Aquos cards we have, they'll be increasing support for B power. We're playing Diamond Hydra as well. I think it's really good because at 5 you can evo it into a very high amount, which I definitely think is quite amazing. There's not much else to explain about it, it's just really good. We're also playing 2 copies of Hyper Hydra, a 3 cost, very cheap, but giving you very great stats as well. So as you can see, you're increasing the damage like crazy on this particular one. For the flip cards, we're playing 2 Counter Aggression. This prevents us from attributes such as Pyrus and Chaos. For a cost of 1, I think it's definitely a fair card to play. Moving on to Ventus, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Smash. Smash is pretty much going to be giving us more damage, and this is particularly to support Dragonoid because with the actual Bakucores we have here, the double Helixes, obviously one of them is going to be decreasing our Bakugan by 600, well, increasing by 600, but decreasing 3 damage, which pretty much puts Dragonoid at 1 damage. So you want to re-increase that again by using cards like Smash. With that being said, it's also a very cheap card at 2, and so it helps with flow as well. Moving on, we're playing a typical card or typical effect of Ventus, and that is Crushing Grasp. A 6 cost, but subtracts the opponent's B power by 1000, meaning you're most likely going to be winning that battle. It's typical of Ventus to be reducing the B power. So you got to be careful because against Darkest decks, they do have a lot of Shadow Strikes, which means they'll be immune to this particular card. So definitely be careful on different types of decks you're going up against. We're also playing one copy here of Hyper Dragonoid. I think this is a really good Evo. Increases their stats a bit more for the cost of 3, which is fairly easy to get to. Increases it by 400 still, so that's great. But Victor, you draw cards, so as long as you win, which majority of the time you will be winning, with Crushing Grasp and with Dragonoid's own effect alone, it's really easy to just get the Victor effect. As for flip cards, we're playing Repel Destruction. You probably have a good reason as to why. You could probably guess why I'm playing these. Pyrus and Darkest are both the most common attributes in the particular meta. They pretty much make up most of the top tier decks. As a result, I think that these particular cards will definitely help out well with the deck. For Darkest cards, we're playing Wither. 2 copies of them. Very cheap card. Reduces the damage taken by the opponent. This card might not be as amazing, because you could actually take this out and add in the Triple Blast Cannon, which is a lot better, simply for the fact that we'll be winning battles majority of the time, so Wither doesn't seem as amazing. However, with Pyrus, there is a card called Might of Cindius, which allows the opponent to pretty much, or allows anyone really, to win based on damage output. As a result, sometimes you want to play cards like Wither to counteract cards like Might of Cindius, and I've been seeing that card a lot for Pyrus decks. Moving on, we're playing Prismatic Shield. Also a very cheap card, only 100, gives 200 B power, but in exchange we do assist with flow for Aquos, and because it's cheap we could play more cards out, so definitely a really good card there. We're playing one copy of Shadow Trap. It's a 5, which was a bit more iffy for me, and it also decreases as well, so anything with Shadow Strike will obviously be immune to this. But with that being said, this can protect you because you can use Sacrifice to discard your additional cards, such as the Prismatic Shield, and then you take away -3 damage from all enemy Bakugan. So if they're doing like an all big combo attack on you, this card will help you out. We're also playing one copy of Curse of Darkness, and we're playing one copy of Prismatic Bolt. Putting these two together for a similar case as Shadow Trap, -2, -10 if you do Sacrifice instead, and for Prismatic Bolt, +300, +6. This card will particularly help out with the Dragonoid, but that being said, it could also help out with the Webem as well. However, these cards are those extra utility cards that I think are really worthwhile as tech cards. We also have Fertility as our final cards in the deck here. This is essentially a very versatile flip card for a very cheap cost at 2, and you could prevent Ventus, Chaos, and Aurelus as well. And keep in mind, we so far have not covered any cards that actually prevent Aurelus, which are really heavy beat sticks that always win. So as a result, having something that can actually cancel out Aurelus would be a really great addition to the deck here. But that pretty much sums it up for this particular deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one is definitely a really fun one because it offers the utilization of the double Helix. At the same time, we also have such great synergy with the action cards. I really do love it in this particular version, where the action cards can help out particular drawbacks to some of your Bakugan, where sometimes you might be lacking in the damage output based on your Bakugan's effect, but since your cards can actually increase it back up, it's amazing. Majority of the time, I'd say at least like 8 out of your 10 rolls, you will be winning your battles because your B power will always overwhelm the opponents. I can guarantee that. So yeah, I hope you guys all like this and give this a go. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.